Hey, hey, says we're live. I'm gonna check my phone, see if I can find live. I don't know. Am I live? It says I'm live. Good morning, good morning. Happy Magic Monday. Michelle Lee here again. Flying solo. There I am. When you tune in, say good morning, say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from. We are just one day away from my free training starting tomorrow, Prelude to Making Light of Your Shadow. Megan and Scott and Tori are journeying as we speak with Grandmother Ayahuasca. They had their first journey yesterday with amazing results. We've taken a group of people down into the jungle to our favorite shamans in the whole wide world to help create transformation in their lives. And day one yesterday was already phenomenal. And I can't wait to hear from Megan this afternoon and see what day two presents, right? So the entire team is being transformed as we speak. So, what I want to talk about today is your last day to register for Prelude to Making Light of Your Shadow. A 3-day training will go about an hour and 15 minutes, and taking you through processes to truly discover your shadow, discover some of those beliefs, and begin integrating them. Over the weekend, I did a top 12 reasons why you definitely want to integrate your shadow. And there are so many more reasons why. There will be guest speakers. There will be coaching, right? Yes, I'm going to teach, but I want you to have an experience. I want you to recognize and feel your shadow and begin integrating it. So you definitely want to be there. Yes, it will be recorded. Yes, if you register, you will get the recordings in your email every day. So don't let that stop you. And yes, you want to be live if that's possible. Each day is going to build on each other. You're going to get a little bit of homework to do on Tuesday, that then we will do an activity around on Wednesday. And then likewise, you're going to want to be there Wednesday, or at least watch the training. So on Thursday, you can do the actual integration process that I'm going to be taking you through. But starting today, you can start recognizing your shadow. And I'm going to tell you how. The shadow is in our body. Our shadow is in our body. So how you can begin accessing your shadow when it's showing up is noticing the sensations that you have in your body. And this can take some practice sometimes. That's why I want to offer this bit of information today, so that you can begin to tune in and recognize what's happening in your body. So if you just get quiet, notice what you feel in your body without giving it the names of emotions, like, oh, I feel anxiety in my chest. If you're feeling anxiety in your chest, describe that. I feel tightness, right? Or a constriction, or I feel fluttering in my belly, right? So really beginning to tune in to the sensations of your body, because that is what is going to lead you to shadow parts. Now, the challenge in this, and definitely a challenge for me, is that we have learned over the years to ignore our body's signs and signals. We're taught to simply notice, we're taught to simply go to the bathroom when it's time to go to the bathroom, right? Between classes, we start doing this to little kiddos really early, like now's not a time to go to the bathroom. And so we learn to ignore our body, even around meal times. Am I hungry now, or am I eating just because it's meal time? I'm hungry now and I don't allow myself to eat because it's not meal time. So we tend to suppress what we feel in our body. And after so many years of doing this, we actually kind of leave our body, because also it's a protection mechanism to leave our body, because the sensations are so strong, and we're not actually taught as children or adults until we start seeking it out, how to process those emotions. So shadow integration takes that into account, right? You start learning to listen to your body, feeling into your body, and how to process those emotions, how to process those emotions. So start tuning in today and just notice what you're feeling. And like, notice what happens when you hit traffic, or when somebody makes a remark, right? Our bodies have these reactions very quickly. And if you're anything like me, I learned to just deny them very quickly. It's like, I've got too much on my plate to do. I have things I need to take care of, people I need to take care of. And I wasn't one of those people. So today is a good day to start really tuning in, thinking, feeling, what am I feeling right now? Even if you sit down for 1 or 2 minutes and just focus on your breath and notice the sensations that you feel in your body, even if it's the rise and fall of your chest with your breath, even it's the temperature of the air flowing in through your nostrils, right? Just tuning in. That's one thing you can start doing today. A second thing to start doing is noticing when you put a halt to your pleasure. Integrating your shadow increases your ability to have the good things that you want. Integrating your shadow increases your ability to experience pleasure and joy in your life. So that being said, we actually put a lid on our pleasure and our joy rather quickly and easily. So notice today, if things are going well, when do they stop? When does your joy and pleasure and happiness stop? And what created that stopping of the pleasure and the joy, right? Typically it's thoughts. I'll give you an example. I had several days of just lightness and freedom. And one evening, it was like 8:30 in the evening. I was curled up on the sofa and I'm reading my novel, and I'm noticing how wonderful it is. We had such a productive day. I love being productive. It just feels good. We got so much done. Plus, we had so much time for relaxation and connecting and freedom. And then at 8:30 in the evening, I was laying on the sofa reading my novel, which typically I would be too sleepy, right? Like I'd get a page through and I'd start falling asleep. And I was noticing how I was so wide awake that I could truly enjoy my novel. So I was noticing all of these good feelings. Oh, and it was even a Magic Monday. It was a Magic Monday because I was so happy with me and Megan's Magic Monday, how the conversation flowed, the humor flowed. We're going to get back to that when she comes back, right? Much easier to have a conversation back and forth with somebody. And I was just so happy about it. And I'm reading and I'm involved in my book. Then all of a sudden, bam, these thoughts entered my mind. My chest tightened. I was anxious. I was ashamed. And suddenly this thought popped into my mind that there was something that I said during the Magic Monday that I shouldn't have said, that it was dumb, it was embarrassing, it was thoughtless. And I went into these whole stories about it. So that is how I unconsciously, right? It's not like I had control over the thought. It just popped into my head. But that's how I stop my feeling of flow and joy and pleasure, was going into that thought. So of course, what I do is I come into my office and go, okay, what's happening? And I integrate that shadow that showed up in that moment that was like, oh no, we don't deserve this much pleasure. If we don't stop the pleasure, here's an underlying thought that's really, really powerful and gets hidden, that if I don't stop the pleasure, something outside of me will stop the pleasure, like God or circumstances will create a situation that robs me of my pleasure. And then I don't have control of it. At least if I rob myself of my pleasure, I have control over how painful that is. So this is part of information that you start to have access to when you integrate your shadow. Because all of the information, everything we need to awaken, to accelerate our progress, to become more of our divine self in physical form, all of that is within. But we just don't know how to access what that is or what to do with it when we access it. And that's why I'm teaching Prelude to Making Light of Your Shadow. And then, maybe you'll want to come into the 8-week program of Making Light of Your Shadow. Definitely not required. You're going to learn so much over the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you choose to register, I'm going to put the link to register in the comments below. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What are you noticing? What sensations do you notice in your body? And how are you stopping the flow of pleasure and ease and grace in your life? What have you noticing already? You're definitely going to notice even more over the next 3 days if you choose to join us. So here's to a Magic Monday. Here's to expansion, opening your mind, seeing your whole self, beginning to embody your whole self so that you can create heaven on earth, a life you absolutely love waking up to every single morning. It's not outside of your capabilities. It's actually why we're here. So I would love to see you joining me over the next 3 days. It's going to be a blast. And I definitely believe you're going to walk away a changed person just from the free training. All right, everyone, have an amazing Monday. Mwah. Bye for now. We'll be back next week with Megan. It'll be so fun to have her back and hear about her journeys. Bye, everyone.